Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Shameless Freedom Podcast. And today I want to reflect on the question, why did it take so long? And there's a couple of things that are feeling alive and juicy in my life these days that it's really been leaning into asking this question of why do we procrastinate? Why do we not take action and do the things that we say that we want to do? And one of the things that has been showing up recently for me is singing. So I've always loved to sing ever since I was a little girl. Yes, I love to dance, but I love to sing as well too. And years ago, I have written, I don't know, about 10 to 12 songs. And I don't play any instruments. I used to play the piano as a little girl, but typically all I do is I sing with my voice. And I wrote these songs that were a cappella and would sing them at my retreats or my women's circles, but never really went further. And it was actually 10 years ago that I had made a decision that I was going to record my songs. And I found a woman who was going to help me put music behind the a cappella and to record it. And that was 10 years ago, August. And it's so interesting because my life blew up at that time. Things happened in her life, and it never happened. It got put on the back burner. And recording my songs has actually been a goal on my list, probably, I would say, every year for the last 10 years. And it was one of those things that always kept getting put off, right? It was, well, it's going to cost you money, not make you money. So don't do that, right? Yes, it's something that would make you feel alive, but is it really something that you really need to be spending your time on now? Or, what is the right thing to do? What are you going to do with it when you actually do it, right? So, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this on a different topic. Think about something that you absolutely love, something that you've wanted to do and you just haven't done for years. Maybe you're someone who likes to paint. Maybe you're someone who likes to cook or whatever it might be. What is that thing that brings up that joy, that aliveness, that sense of freedom within you? And how often do you actually tap into that? And so what's recently happened for me is I was at a friend's karaoke party last month and it was a complete blast. I had so much fun just singing. And the following week, I was introduced to an open mic night. I've never been to an open mic night and was then introduced to someone who offered to help me put music behind my song. And so then I was working on that. And then this past week, ran into someone at a fair and they said, "Hey, there's this open mic night." And I was like, "Okay, let me go." And it happened to be with the woman 10 years ago that was going to do the recordings of my songs. And it's like God calling me back. Have you ever felt that moment when you just knew there were signs that were leading you in a direction? Like when you were in flow, things just happen. You just know that they're going to happen. And as I was sitting at this open mic night last night, so many thoughts, feelings, emotions running through me as I sat there and watched and witnessed all of the performers. There were over 20 performers last night. And it was amazing to see people of different talents and skill abilities, different places in their, I'll say, performance journey of being afraid to be on stage or trying something new on stage. And it made me really think about how all of us are really looking for a place to just be seen and not judged for who we are, what we bring to the world, to just allow ourselves to be who we are. And that's one of the things that singing does for me is it's a place to feel free, to feel not trapped inside whatever box I lived in and or whatever constraints were put around me for how you're supposed to live your life. And not only is it freeing, it feels powerful. Like when you can step into the energy of something you absolutely love doing and be in the energy, it is grounding, it is inspiring, it feels powerful. Like there's no care in the world. And the third thing I would say is this sense of aliveness. And it's one of those things that you can't describe in words. You can only describe it in feeling and energy. And it's like this, I want to say, light bulb going on. I mean, it's literally as fast as you flip on a switch, right? In a room, like that's how your aliveness can be if we allow it. And if we don't suppress it, it's not supposed to be hard. If you're someone who loves to sing, you sing. If you're someone who loves to cook, you cook. If you're someone who loves to dance, you did, right? Like it doesn't have to be hard. But we make things so much harder on ourselves for not only fear and judgment of others, but fear and judgment of ourself. And how often do we fear our own rejection of we're not good enough? So if we're going to judge ourselves, then other people might judge us as well. And it just raises a whole topic around why? Why are we so afraid of just being ourselves, stepping into that fullness of who you are, no matter what it is? It doesn't matter what it is. And I really do believe that majority of the time we are our own worst critics, right? That like there are people in the audience that are going to connect with you on many different levels. It could be your first time doing something, and someone out there is going to totally appreciate that you got up there scared, didn't know what you were doing, did it anyway. That is inspiring. It doesn't have to be the best speech in the world to be inspiring. It is literally about showing up as you. So often we try to actually, we try so hard to prove ourselves, to prove that we're worth something, to prove that we matter. And we then hide this piece of who we are and don't allow ourselves to fully live. Imagine what your life could be like if you allowed yourself to live, to embody every moment of every day, and to not feel this pressure of trying so hard, trying to impress someone, trying to get accolades or attention or that validation that you were special, that you matter. And I think so many of us fall into this trap. And I invite you to feel into, what do you really desire? And what are you waiting for? And if you're waiting for validation, worthiness, proof, okay, I get it. Um, and what if it's possible that you could take one small action towards that goal? You don't have to have it all figured out. I don't have this whole singing thing figured out, but it's a new, interesting journey of following the next breadcrumb. How can you follow the breadcrumbs in your life instead of wait 10 years? Some people wait their whole lives and don't live to the depths of how they were truly meant to live. So many people that I have heard stories from on their deathbeds was, what are you going to regret not doing? Go do that. What is the thing you want to do? Do you want to sing? Do you want to dance? Do you want to write poetry? Do you want to speak on stage? Do you want to run a marathon? Do you want to climb a mountain? Right? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It just matters that you find the thing that makes you feel alive inside and to allow yourself to be in that energy, to allow yourself to dream and to be and embody that space. And I think one of the reasons that I have not taken action in this area, one was because I made up excuses that I didn't have the right contacts, or what was I going to do with it? And 10 years, I made up excuses. 10 years. I came up with every blocker in the world from moving forward, from time to money to, well, what am I going to do with it? Like, why will it matter? If I record a song, what am I going to do with it? Like, who's going to buy it? Who's going to listen to it? Like, how is that going to take me forward? And those questions are toxic. They actually put us in a state of lack and scarcity, as opposed to flipping those around and saying, okay, let's be curious. What could happen if I said yes? What is possible if I step out of my comfort zone and do the thing that I've been dreaming and wanting to do for so long? What's possible? And Here's the other thing too. Maybe it's not even about the outcome. Actually, it's not about the outcome. Actually, that's the whole point, right? It's how do you feel inside when you are doing that thing you love? It's not about how much money you're going to make from it or who's going to praise you or give you accolades for it. It's all about you honoring yourself, who you are, how you feel when you show up 100% for you. It's not about performance. It's not about impressing. It's about authenticity and it's about expression and truly feeling into all of those parts of you that make you fully you, but then also not judging yourself for who you are and how you're showing up. And when you can be in that energy, when you can learn how to dive into the depths of that presence, that essence, that's the thing that makes you feel alive. That's the stuff that attracts people to you. You know, people talk all the time about attracting versus chasing. And yes, it's all energy. But at the core, it really comes back to what are you waiting for? What do you really want to do? What do you want to say? How do you want to feel? And to allow yourself to dive into the depths of that. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, or thinks. It's you fully allowing yourself to say yes to what makes you feel alive. You don't have to wait 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. Take an action now. You know, learn from the people who have waited so long and didn't act. Don't regret not doing something that would make your heart sing. And it's kind of a shame when we have a desire and we just bury it. Don't allow it to be seen. And the only person that is stopping you from taking action is you. It's so easy to suppress the things that we really want in life. And that's where we can also find our greatest joy. And it's not about what other people are going to think. It's about just you showing up, doing what you love to do, not as a performative act, but as an expression of love, truth, authenticity. This is what true authenticity is. It's not being afraid to show up as your true self, not waiting 10 years, 20 years, whatever. And you know what? If that's you, it's okay. Is it time to say yes to you in a different way? Is it time to say yes to that dream, that goal, that feeling that you've wanted to experience your entire life. Because I will tell you this, you are not embracing that aliveness and that pleasure and that depth and truth within you. That's when we start looking for it in other places and substitute pleasures and things that will never be able to sustain and bring us that joy and aliveness that we can give to ourselves if we just believed in ourselves and allowed ourselves to say yes. So I encourage you to ask yourself the question, what are you waiting for? And are you ready to stop waiting, to stop allowing it to take so long, and to just say yes to life, to love, and to freedom?